Good day, student. This is our second video in this series, and in today's lessons we are going to discuss fractions. Fractions are part of a whole. They are usually written as a over b, where a and b are whole numbers. Example: 1 over 4, 1 over 2, 3 over 4, 2 over 2, and 3 over 2. We can have many examples. These are just very few of them. Equivalent fractions. Fractions that have the same value are called equivalent fractions. Example: this diagram that you are seeing on your screen, they are all representing 1 over 2. That means when you divide the numerator by the denominator, you always get 0.5, which is a half. Because when you look at the first one, we divide it into 2, but we pick one piece. When you look at the second one, we divide it into 4, but we take 2 pieces, we still half of it. When you look at the third one, we divide it into 8 and we pick 4 pieces, which is still half of 8. So if the value is the same, then they are equivalent. For us to be able to find all the equivalent fraction of 1 over 2, we are to do as follows. Look at the formula you are seeing on your screen. We are to put 1 over 2 and multiply it by n. And the value of that n can have values from 1 up to infinity. For instance, if you have the first one, 1 over 2 is going to be equivalent to 2 over 4, and is equivalent to 3 over 6, and is equivalent to 4 over 8, which are all equivalent to 0.5. When you look at the numerators in this example, all the numerators are multiple of 1, while the denominators are multiple of 2. And second example, we have 3 over 4. So, and the equivalent fraction of 3 over 4 are 6 over 8, 9 over 12, 12 over 16, and the rest of it. And they are all equal to 0.75. When you look at all the numerators here, the numbers at the top, they are all multiple of 3, while the denominators are all multiple of 4. So that means if you have a fraction, you have to find all its multiples, as all the multiple of the numerator over the multiple of the denominator. They are called the equivalent fraction of such particular fraction. Now let's take a look at this example. Find the first 3 fractions which are equivalent to the following fractions. Number 1, 3 over 4. Number 2, 8 over 9. Number 3, 7 over 12. So the first one is 3 over 4. So, and we are to multiply by the set of natural numbers if we are to get the equivalent fraction. So, and whatever we multiply the numerator, which is the number at the top, with, we must multiply the denominator, which is the number at the bottom, with the same number. So in the first place, we multiply 3 over 4 by 2 over 2, we get 6 over 8. Multiply 3 over 4 by 3 over 3, we get 9 over 12. We multiply 3 over 4 by 4 over 4, we get 12 over 16. That is the first equivalent fraction of this 3 over 4 are 6 over 8, 9 over 12, and 12 over 16. So the second one is 8 over 9. So when you multiply by 2 over 2, you get 16 over 18. When you multiply 8 over 9 by 3 over 3, you get 24 over 27. When you multiply 8 over 4, 8 over 9 multiplied by 4 over 4, you get 32 over 36. That is the first equivalent fraction of this 8 over 9 are 16 over 18, 24 over 27, 32 over 36. The next one is 7 over 12. So when you multiply 7 over 12 by 2 over 2, you get 14 over 24. When you multiply 7 over 12 by 3 over 3, you get 21 over 36. When you multiply 7 over 12 by 4 over 4, you get 28 over 48. And the set of equivalent fraction that are equivalent to 7 over 12 are 12 over 24, 21 over 36, 28 over 48. I believe you understand this very simple explanation. Fractions are of different sizes. Ordering of fractions means arranging fractions in ascending or descending order relative to their sizes. Example, arrange the following fractions in ascending order: 2 over 5, 1 over 3, 3 over 5. So for us to be able to arrange these numbers in ascending or descending order, we must make them have the same denominator in order to compare them. So let's look at the denominators. The denominators contains numbers 3 and 5. So, and we are to find the common denominator, that is, we are to find the LCM of these two numbers, 5 and 3. So the multiple of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and the rest of it, while the multiple of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and the rest of it. So the numbers that are common in these multiples are 30 and 15, but the lowest is 15, that is, the LCM is 15. So we are to make all the denominators to be 15. We are to find all the equivalent fraction in which the denominators are 15. So the first one, we have 2 over 5. When you multiply by 3 over 3, you get 6 over 15. The second one is 1 over 3. When you multiply by 5 over 5, you get 5 over 15. And the third one is 3 over 5. When you multiply by 3 over 3, you get 9 over 15. So now you have all the denominator to be equivalent to 15, 15, 15. So, and when you look at them, when you arrange them, you have 5 as the smallest and 9 as the biggest, while 6 is in the middle. So that means 1 over 3 is the smallest, 2 over 5 is the one in the middle, while 3 over 5 is the biggest. Thank you. Another example is we are to arrange 5 over 8, 7 over 12, 3 over 4 in ascending order. The denominators or the number at the bottom are 8, 12, and 4. Let's find the LCM of these three numbers, because we want all the three numbers to have common denominator. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and the rest of it. The multiple of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, 30, 40, 48, and the rest of it. While the multiple of 12 are 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, and the rest of it. But when you look at it, the common one is 24. That is, the LCM of these three numbers is 24. When we pick 5 over 8, for us to be able to make this 8 to be equals to 24, we are to multiply it by 3. That is, we multiply it by 3 over 3 so that we have 15 over 24. And the next one is 7 over 12. For us to be able to make 12 to be equals to 24, we have to multiply it by 2. So we multiplied also the 7 by 2, so we get 14 over 24. And the last one is 3 over 4, so we have to multiply it by 6 over 6 so that we can be able to get 24. So we have 18 over 24. So the smallest in this arrangement is 14 over 24, while the biggest is 18 over 24, while 15 over 24 is in the middle. Converting fraction to decimals. To write a fraction as a decimal, we can use so many methods. So here in this lesson, we are going to discuss only 3 methods. So number 1, we are to use a known fact. Example, convert 3 over 4 to decimal. So we already know that 3 over 4 is equals to 1 over 4 multiplied by 3. So, and we already know that 1 over 4 is 0.25. So when you multiply 0.25 3 times, you get 0.75. Method number 2 is to make the denominator to be a multiple of 10, because we know division by 10 or multiple of 10 is very easy. Example, convert 3 over 4 to decimal. So 3 over 4, for us to be able to make 4 to be a multiple of 10, the easiest one is 100. So we can be able to make 4 to be 100 by multiplying it by 25. So since we multiply 4 by 25, we have to multiply the numerator, which is 3, by 25 also. So we get 75 over 100. So, and when you are to divide 75 by 100, you have to move decimal point 2 times. So when you move the decimal point from the right hand 2 times, you get 0.75. So another one is we have convert 9 over 16 to decimal. So the denominator here is 16. So how can we be able to make 16 a multiple of 10? So that is, we can be able to make it to be 10,000. That is by multiplying by 625. So when you multiply the denominator by 625, you have to multiply the numerator also by 625. So 9 times 625 is 5,625, while the denominator we are going to get 10,000. So, and we have to divide 5,625 by 10,000. You have to move the decimal point 4 times. That is the number of zeros. So, and we are going to get 0.5625. So the way I usually get this number that I usually multiply to get the multiple of 10 is by trial and error. The third method is divide the numerator by the denominator. Example, convert 7 over 12 to decimal. To convert 7 over 12 to decimal, we draw a line similar to the one you are seeing on your screen. We put the 7, which is the numerator, inside the line and the 12 outside it. So when you look at it, 12 cannot go into 7. So we write 0 at the top and put point, and we add 0 to 7, which make it to be 70. And when you look at it, 12 can go into 70 5 times, and 5 times 12 is 60. And when you look at it, we subtract 70 plus 60, we get 10. So when you look at it, 12 cannot go into 10. So since we already put the point 0 and the point, we just add 0, we make it to be 100. And 12 can go into 100 8 times, and 8 times 12 is 96. So when you subtract, you get 4. So 12 cannot go into 4, you add 0. 12 into 40, 12 into 40 is 3 times. So, and 3 times 12 is 36. And when you subtract, you get 4 again, you add 0, you get 40. 12 into 40 3 times, 3 times 12 is 36, and you subtract, you get 4. So this is how you continue getting 3 3 3 3 up to infinity. So, and since the number is repeating, we can be able to stop anywhere. It depends on where the examiner is asking us. So since here is not specified, so we can stop here. So the result, 7 over 12 is equals to 0.5833333, and the rest of it. So we can terminate it to 4 decimal places. Thank you. Converting decimal to fractions. There are many instances where need may rise for us to convert decimals to fractions. Here are some examples on how to convert decimals to fractions. The first one, convert 0.03 to fractions. So 0.03, since we have 2 digits after decimal place, so we can multiply by 100 over 100. 100 divided by 100 is the same thing as 1. So multiplying any number by 1 is just same with that number. So when you multiply, I just want to eliminate the decimal point. So when you multiply 0.03 by 100, you are going to get 3. So when you multiply 1 by 100, you are going to get 100. And since there is no any number that can go into 3 and go into 100 without remainder, so 3 over 100 is the answer. Next one is convert 0.125 to fraction. So 0.125, we have 3 digits after decimal place, so we have to multiply by 1000 over 1000. So 0.125 over 1 multiply by 1000 over 1000. 0.125 multiply by 1000 is 1225 all over 1000. So, and when you look at it, there is number that can divide 125 and also divide 1000 without remainder. So that number is 5. So 5 into 125, 25. 5 into 1000, 200, and there is a number again, 5 into 25, 5 into 200, 40, and there is another number which is 5 that can divide the two. So 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 40, 8, so 1 over 8. So there is no any number that will go into 8 and go divide 1 without remainder except 1, so, and we are not using 1, so 1 over 8 is the result. The next example is convert 3.142 to fraction. So 3.142, we have 3 digits after decimal place, so we have to multiply by 1000 over 1000. So 3.142 multiplied by 1000 is 3142, while 1 times 1000 is 1000. So when you check, you will find out that 2 can divide the two of them. So 2 into 3142 is 1571, and 2 into 1000 is 500. So, and when you check the two, these two, there is no any number that can divide the two, so this is just the result. We cannot reduce it to further reduction, so we just have to leave the result like this. So 3.142 is equals to 1571 over 500. Percentage. A fraction with a denominator of 100 is called percentage. That is, if the number at the bottom is 100. Example, 20%. 20% is equals to 20 over 100, and 75% is equals to 75 over 100. So, and there are many instances where you may need to convert either percentage to fraction, or percentage to decimal, or decimal to percentage, or decimal to fraction, and the rest of it. So, and we are going to look at all this in this lesson. First, let's start with how to convert fraction to percentage. The first example is, how can we convert 4 over 5 to percentage? Yes. So how can we do it? So we look at it, 4 over 5. How can we make the denominator to be 100? We have the 5 as the denominator. So we already know that when we multiply 5 by 20, you can get 100. So if you do, whatever you do to the denominator, we must do it to the numerator, which is the number at the top. So when you multiply the top one by 20 and the bottom one by 20, you are going to get 80 over 100. So since the denominator becomes 100, then the number at the top, which is the numerator, is the percentage, which is 80%. So the next example is convert 7 over 25 to percentage. So when we are to convert this, we look at the denominator 25. How can we make it 100? We multiply it by 4. So when you multiply 25 by 4, you must multiply 7 also by 4. So 7 multiplied by 4 is 28, while 25 multiplied by 4 is 100. So since the denominator becomes 100, then the result is 28%. Now let's look at converting percentage to fractions. So the first one, express 15% as a fraction. So 15%, we already know that percentage means the denominator is 100. So 15 over 100. So 15 over 100, when you look at it, there is a number that can divide 15 and divide 100, which is 5. So when you divide 15 by 5, you get 3. When you divide 100 by 5, you get 20. So, and there is no any number that can divide 3 and divide 20 without remainder. So 3 over 20 is the required fraction, which is the answer. Next, express 4 whole number 1 all over 2 as fraction. So 4 whole number 1 over 2% is equals to 9 over 2 divided by 100, since we remove the percentage, so we must divide by 100. So when you divide 9 over 2 divided by 100 is equals to 9 over 200. So, and when you look at it, there is no any number that can divide 9 and divide 200. So 9 over 200 is the required result. Express 10.5% as fraction. So we already know that since it is named percentage, so the denominator is 100. So we are to divide it by 100. So we have 10.5% is equals to 10.5 over 100. So for us to eliminate the point that is in it, we multiply it by 10 over 10. So when you multiply 10.5 multiply by 10, you get 105. When you multiply 100 by 10, you get 1000. So and there is a number that can divide the two. So and then that number is 5. So when you divide 105 by 5, you get 21. When you divide 1000 by 5, you get 200. So and there is no any number that can divide 21 and divide 200 without remainder. For so 21 over 200 is the required result. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you. See you in the next lesson.